Okay. So welcome everyone to our weekly meeting. So this week we'll learn lesson 9 and 10, 9 JavaScript events, especially for mobile devices, not devicage, will be taught by DJ, and lesson 10, HTML5 tags, video, audio, and canvas will be taught by Ryan. I just wanted to ask everyone, I asked Logan, but does everyone have, I know Ryan, you still had some questions, but is everyone good with GitHub pages and all that?
I haven't. I need to look at it more. I didn't look at it and haven't had much time, but I was gonna try.
Okay.
If we were, I probably won't have time tonight, but I was gonna try to look at it sometime this week. I don't have to turn in code this week because I turned it in last week, technically, even though he hasn't looked at any of it.
Right.
So I was gonna try to get that done this week or early next week.
Well, and I guess I thought that the GitHub page means like you have your GitHub account, and then I thought you're just putting a folder up there, but like GitHub pages is something different and
Yeah. Well,
it's like a website.
A website address. But whenever you gotta get a 404 page.
It has like its own web server. So if you push your code in it, then it deploys your code into the server, and it's like, yeah, it works as a website. So
right. The issue I was having with it though is that I put it in, like I followed the directions on the GitHub pages site.
mm-hmm.
But when I used the GitHub desktop, it was giving that error message that was popping up.
Oh.
And so the teacher was saying that to uninstall the GitHub desktop, then put it back in. And I can do that. I just want to make sure that that's not going to mess up any of my assignments. Like, installing the desktop won't mess anything up as long as I have the folders on my computer.
Yeah, so somehow when you set up GitHub online, then you have to copy the repository or clone it, right?
Right. And that's what I was trying to clone it. And when I do it, it won't let me clone it.
So when you run GitHub desktop, it has the current repository, all that's good. It just gives you an error when you try to push it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never used GitHub desktop before now. And I just, from GitHub, just the website, I went through and downloaded it there, made a clone and then downloaded, the GitHub desktop, and it just set it up for me. But I'm not sure how to connect. Repository, I guess you could somehow connect to a different repository with it. So you just downloaded it and then try to set it up?
I've been using GitHub desktop since the start of the semester.
Oh, okay. So it's just recent that it's...
Well, no, that was the whole thing, is that I've been sending assignments in onto my GitHub account from the desktop using brackets, to put it onto the GitHub desktop, and then using GitHub desktop to put it onto GitHub itself. I've been doing that. It's just the first time here was where they said, okay, now you need to clone and set up your web page. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, so the GitHub pages. So if your repository, if all your code is there, you just have to go in and enable auto publish. And then whenever you update your repository with code, GitHub will automatically publish it to your GitHub pages.
And I do that from GitHub desktop or from the GitHub?
No, online. You have to go to settings. So when you're in your code, it's down GitHub pages. So you have to select master branch. I didn't choose a theme.
So under settings?
Yeah, settings. So in your code, settings. Well, yeah, I guess it's not in your code, but settings, and scroll down to GitHub pages.
Yeah. And so right now it says like your site is published.
Oh,
And so
okay.
so when I click on your site is published, for me it says page not found, error.
Oh. So mine did that because I didn't have an index.html in there in this folder. Like for instance, mine is published here to my username, GitHub, IO, CIT261, but all of my code is in another directory called code because I was doing other things. So if you might have to, depending on where your code is actually sitting, you might have to go to a different directory. Like for instance, if I go, let's see.
Like, so if I open up my documents and I've got one here for GitHub, and then I've got my username.github.io, and that's the file folder. Do I need to put, like, try to figure out what I need to do?
So whatever your master branch is, like let's see, mine. So I guess my master branch right now is CIT261 because I have other folders from other classes.
Right.
So I set this. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I've got a CIT261 homework that I've got here, and so I could put it in there.
And where's your actual code? Is it just in CIT261?
Well, that's the whole thing is I've got one for homework, and then I've got one for the fluency documentation.
Okay. So you're putting stuff in homework.
Yeah.
So if you were to go to your GitHub page, the one that's telling you that page not found, and put /homework and / whatever file you want to open, it should then open.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Remember.
Well, and I actually had actually messaged our instructor. He took a look at it, and he actually upped on my page to make an index page. And so then what happens is for my documents, when I click on the index page, it does the whole little hello world, I'm hosted with GitHub pages.
So it's not recognizing your actual index.html.
Right.
What is your
one on here says, user for the computer, then it says OneDrive, Documents, GitHub. It just goes to the whole thing.
So what's your username?
The username I went with a collected vintage polyester. I went with a TieNut73 at .github.io. I mean, it says your site's published to TieNut73 GitHub.io, but when I click on it, I get a 404. But then when I click on index.html, I get the hello world, I'm hosted with GitHub pages intro.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
I feel like I couldn't even get to yours, Jason. Yours was a 404, and I get the same thing for his as well.
Oh, really? That one right there?
I did the index.html.
That one?
Yeah.
Huh.
Unless
and you have HTTPS.
Oh, maybe it's because I had lowercase CIT. Okay, yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it was. I guess his was. I was getting the same as.
Oh, yours is
that one as well.
CIT261
homework.
So, So what is your Logan? What is so you have your master branch is CIT261?
My master branch is like CIT261 _ homework.
Oh, _ homework.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't say anything about that on, where the site's published.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Just out of curiosity, so we can see what you're seeing. Sorry, I don't mean to cut into your guys' time, but I figured.
Sorry, I don't want to.
Come on.
Since you're both really short,
Yeah. It's okay.
Is that a short joke?
Nope.
Okay,
it's
well,
not.
hang on. I'm getting vertigo here. Let me cut away. So basically, whoa. So
HBS.
this is what mine says. As your site's published here. And so then when I click on it, I get a page not found.
Okay.
And the thing that the teacher got set up on here was indexed for me. So then when I click on the index, it says, "Hello world, I'm hosted with GitHub Pages."
Oh, that's
Okay.
a local.
That's
But-
a local, yeah.
Huh?
That's
Yeah,
a
but
local.
this one's local on this computer.
That is. See
Yeah,
that
that is.
file
Yeah,
//c? Yep.
that's local.
So that might not be in your repository yet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So go back to GitHub Pages and go scroll up and go to your code.
Yeah.
Do we need a GitHub desktop to be able to run this?
No, it's just a
Is it
way
easier?
Yeah, because I mean, you can use the website to upload files, but GitHub Desktop allows you to grab files, put them in your cloned repository on your local hard drive, and then you can go in and push, or you can put in your summary changes and stuff. It's pretty much the same. It's just kind of, it just depends on what you want to do.
I use Git, so it's doable without desktop, GitHub Desktop.
Right.
Yeah, he was actually telling me to Git and do Git instead of the desktop. But I've been using the desktop for the whole semester. I just didn't want to change.
So
Yeah, I was using a website and I didn't want to change.
So Logan, can you go back up here to the top of yours, that just on your website, to GitHub, and just click on code?
Let's see.
Yep. And then so you have CIT230 _ homework. So that's where your stuff is?
That's where
Okay.
the index is here.
So hold on right there.
That's what the hello world is. That's what
Okay.
we got set
Hold
up.
on. I'm just going to come back here. So CIT261 _ homework. Is there a oh no, it's just there. /index.html.
You may have. Are you typing in the capital letters in there as well? I can't see your screen because that's what.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see there's capital H for homework.
oh, is it a capital? Oh, yep. Thank you. So hold
That's
on.
yeah. That's why I couldn't get to yours because I was typing lowercase.
Okay. Hello world. I'm hosted with GitHub Pages. So that's what I got there.
Uh-huh.
So out of curiosity, so what is one of your file names?
One of my file names.
So let's see. HTML entities.
Is there a space in between?
Yeah, it looks like a. Yeah, do you have a space in your file name there?
Which one?
HTML entities?
Oh, I think this one does have one on there.
Yeah. Well, that can actually if you type %20, that's a space in the URL, so you could actually still get to it if you want.
Not HTML. Okay, so I have, when I ran HTML entities, Tom and Jerry and all related characters and elements are trademarks.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what you need to do is then create in your index.html, you got to put links to all of these individual pages. Let's see.
Links to all the individual pages. I mean,
you don't have to, because really you're just giving him a link for him to go, look at your code, right?
oh yeah, no, I don't have a problem with doing that, and I've.
So HTML entities. So this is your code here.
Yeah.
Some of them are code, some of them are just like little snippets of things. Some of them are just
Okay. So yeah, what I would do is go into your index.html and then just create a list at least, and then each list item create a link or give it a URL of what your file name is for each topic, and that way when you go just to your site, well, that's interesting. So you have to go to CIT261_homework for the index to come up. So yeah, and that's fine. So do you know how to make that list to
like to make a list? I mean, you're talking about like just making a
yeah, just like this. And you don't even have to put classes or anything, but just create a list.
I mean, I've got some like this to where you put the different lessons or whatever, and I'm.
Oh yeah, you can do something like that. Yep. Make that your index.html.
Yeah.
And yep, just put all your links in there.
I mean, because there's one already up there right now. It's just weird that.
Yeah, that's on a different.
It's just with the thing here that this is a blank, but if I go to here, and I mean, like I can click on a basic index page, and this won't load up, but like on the other one here for the homework, as the index that was made here, and so this one pops up. So I can edit this one, and this one pops up on here. It's just
that's just your local.
Gives me the 404.
Well, because go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, what you're pulling up there, the index.html, like Jason said, that's local. And so just using the browser itself, it's going to pop up. But what Jason is saying is that you have to make sure you include everything. So the
thing leading up to it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's directing to a local file and not connecting to the web server. So
right. Well, and that was the issue, is because it was telling me input this here like this, your name plus this, and it didn't say anything about all the other branching stuff that leads to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it took me a while to get how to direct using GitHub and like using web server and stuff like that, but it takes a little time. But
well, so now my question is, I guess just go about editing this, changing the site to be what it actually is.
Well, here's the thing. Like, okay, so you have your published site, and it's saying that it's going to tinut73.github.io. That's your base address. And right now you don't have an index.html in that folder. So it doesn't, that's why it's giving you a 404. It doesn't know what to do. But if you, like, for instance, over here, see what it's doing is it's that's when you go to your website, that's what it's trying to go to, and there's nothing in there. That gives you the 404.
So how do I access this to put an index file on it?
Well, you don't have to. What I'm saying is, when you give him the link or anyone the link to view your different topics, tell them to go to the tinut73.github.io/CIT261_homework.
Gotcha.
And then it should run that index.html. Right?
Okay, that works. I think part of the issue is that they want it to be too complicated. They don't want to have you put /this to go within the folder, You know what I mean?
Yeah, but really, I mean, this is for him to be able to click and just look at your stuff.
To see it, it's fine. They're not necessarily worrying about ease of use. So I've taken up enough time. I can bow out and let's get on with the other.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're here to help. So, like what Jason was saying, when you go to that your tinut73.github.io, the reason index doesn't pop up is because all you have are a bunch of folders, and you don't actually have the file itself in that directory. So that's why you have to go into different folders inside of your tinut73.github.io, and then you're able to access files.
Right.
If you were to put index,
Is just getting the index that was made and just putting all the different files I need to in there for it to look at for.
I mean, yeah, if you want to, you can move all of the files that you have in CIT261_homework. You can move all of those back one level to your master branch. And then when you go to your tinut73.github, it'll pull up your index.
Right.
yeah.
I'm saying the instructor really doesn't care because you put a link and he just clicks on the link. So he doesn't care.
Makes sense.
So anyway. All right. So any other questions on that?
No, thank you for all the comments and the feedback. It was really helpful.
Awesome. Okay, does anyone else have any questions or anything before we start?
I'm good. I'm ready.
All right, DJ, go for it.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick. Okay. So let's see. Sorry, I have too many screens open right now. Application window. Oh, come on. Okay. Can everyone see this screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What if I do this?
Nope.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Come on. Why it always does that. I hate it. Okay, so today I'll just talk about JavaScript events, and especially for mobile devices. I do have a separate site for that I can share with everyone. I won't be talking about animation and transition too much, as Logan kind of covered it, but I can provide a website. And transition and animation, pretty much, after we learn all about these events, all you have to do is just use these events to fire up that animation and transition. So it'll be pretty simple. So events, W3 School describes it as things that happen to HTML elements. And when JavaScript is used in HTML pages, JavaScript can react on these events. I added a few examples in there so it's easy to understand. HTML web page, finish loading, then you can fire up an event. Or when your input field was changed, the user typed in something different, or typed in something in general, from nothing to something, you can fire up an event, or when the button was clicked. So a few of the most popular ones for events are on change. That's when an HTML element changes. On click, the user clicks an element. It could be any kind of element, from an input to just a regular paragraph tag, or whatever div, whatever you want it to be. On mouse over, when the user moves the mouse over an element. Mouse out, the opposite when you move it away. Then on key down, it recognizes when the user clicks the keyboard. And on load, when the browser has finished loading the page. And then these are mobile only, so it'll be helpful when we develop our mobile app. But there's on touch start. These are all JavaScript as well, by the way, so no one's confused. But the user, that's when the user touches the element. Then on touch end, the user removes a finger from an element. On touch move, the user moves a finger across the screen. Then on touch cancel, the touch events get interrupted. So, for example, when a developer creates way too many touch points, you can actually use this on touch cancel to cancel everything that it's trying to process. I haven't seen too many occasions where this happens because obviously as a developer you shouldn't be creating way too many touch points inside of one screen where users struggle to click on this. But I do have some example files that I can show you guys. Let's see.
Sweet.
I am not sure what you guys are actually seeing, so
Still seeing your PowerPoint.
okay. Here, I'll switch over. Oops. Application window. Come on. Okay. I think this will work. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So first one, well, show you guys this one first. So, like I said before, this is I used on touch start as an example, and you can actually use these for all the tags that I mentioned. For example, on touch move or on touch cancel. I think there was another one, on touch end. And so there are several different ways you can actually use this in HTML and JavaScript. So first one is, can I not pull this up? Okay. Can you guys see the tool down here?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first one is you can use it directly in the tag, kind of like on click.
Okay.
So on touch start, and then, so keep in mind that this is only responsive to mobile devices. So I tested. Oh, go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I was just gonna ask that. Like, so you have to put both in there. So if someone well, I guess you're detecting if it's mobile, what the screen size is anyway.
Right. Yeah.
In CSS or whatever. So okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can do that, separately, but I mean, yeah, you can, just to be safe. I mean, personally, in this, level, I would probably do both.
So on click and on touch start.
Yeah, that's what I would do, and then just create a function. That's the first way is my on touch start, and then you just create a function. So that's my function is in this the ID demo 1. When I click it, it will print out hello world. So if I touch, hopefully it pops up right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Keep in mind that, if I turn the thing off, then it won't work.
So if you have both of them in there, if you're looking on a mobile, the on click won't work. And
right.
then when you're looking, well, on click does work in mobile, doesn't it? But not the other way around.
Yeah, I don't think it's the other way around. So technically you can use on click, but yeah,
right.
That's not, obviously that's not the only thing. I mean, like
so good programming would be determine your screen size.
Yeah.
And if we're mobile, use on touch start. If we're desktop or tablet, then use on click or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Besides that, like I mentioned, there's on touch move. It recognizes the finger, and so it wouldn't work when you are in the web and you're trying to like drag something it doesn't actually recognize it as the same movement, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So, for example, on touch move wouldn't even work in this view. It only works on actual mobile device, not the emulator. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I
that's
tried
true, 'cause
it.
you're-
Yeah, it doesn't recognize it. So, and then second way is you set an ID to it, and then you grab that, and you can actually use document get element by ID and then on touch start.
Okay.
And then fire up your function. So this one will print out hello everyone. So these two are pretty similar. Its second function is more, I guess you have to put more effort into JavaScript than HTML itself. So, and then the third one I found is adding event listener.
Okay.
So there's part of the event, it's called touch start instead of on touch start, kind of like you would call on click, but actually it's supposed to be click. So it recognizes as touch start, and then you can fire up your function using the same way, touch me. And then I kind of felt weird creating these functions because I'm like, I probably shouldn't say touch me, but I couldn't think of like a better way to describe it.
Well, you have a number 2 after it, so it's all good.
Yeah,
There's touch me and a touch me too.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
So it's the lack of love, I guess. But
Sorry.
third one, same thing. So there are 3 different ways that you can do that.
Okay.
And like I said, all the other ones work the same. So on touch end, when you remove your finger from it, it will fire up those functions. Or on touch move is when you move your finger across it. And then on touch cancel is just when there's too many things going on, or just one function gets interrupted by another. So you can use all those the same way. They all work the same way. And then this one over here is animation. I'll show you. Don't do that. Okay. So these are all using a event listener. So there are 2 separate ways you can actually use this. But there's animation start, iteration, animation end, and you can look these up on event listeners. There are many different ones that you can use, but it's the same concept here. I use on click, and it will fire up my function, which is this whole thing, and then it grabs all these values, and then it fires up these function based on what you want to do. So here I'll print out, my start function prints out all these things. So when I click on it, I'll start moving. That's the first one, and then that's the iteration, and then that's the end. So it fires up all these functions consecutively as one function. So add event listener would be very helpful for animation and transition. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I have. Do you guys have any more questions?
No.
I don't.
That was very well put together. I liked all the buttons and the demonstrations for on click versus on touch start.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that add event listener, I came across that for lesson or topic 8. And I used that. Really helpful.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It
Especially when you're doing multiple transitions or animations to like one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
It tries to do them all at the same time unless you add that event listener.
Right.
So that way, yeah.
It's like all organized and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty helpful.
Awesome. Well, thanks, DJ. Appreciate that. Well done. Ryan, you're up.
All right. Mine is extremely short and very repetitive because it's very similar for each one.
Okay.
But let me share my screen and put this. Oh, not new slide. Push. All right. Are you able to see that?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm doing the HTML tags. They're video, audio, and canvas. I believe there might be more, but I didn't really look into those. But HTML video or HTML5 video element specifies a standard way of to embed a video on a web page. I believe it used to use Flash before HTML5. To be able to use a video in HTML, you have to use the tags video. The same as audio and canvas, but here is some code on the right. The video, you can see right here. This is the video tag. Do not. Can't click on things, and I'm used to doing that. Sorry. The top part where it has the width 320 and 240. Those are the controls. I should have included a little shot of that, but that just determines how big your controls for that video are, the play button and the runtime. The source element allows you to specify alternative video files. So if you have an MP4 or OGG, that way your browser can determine which one, and the first one that the browser can run, it will run that file.
Oh, that's cool. So will the browser actually, like if it tries to run the MP4 and it can't, it will move on to OGG?
That's the way I read it. So I believe that is how it works. And
That's cool.
Otherwise, I don't see the point of having
Well,
multiple.
that's very useful because yeah, like if you're on a mobile, phone or like an older tablet or something like that that can't run some of these file types.
Yeah, and like I guess the 3 supported video files, if I remember right, are MP4, OGG, or OGG, or however that, and WebM. I think, and then let me see if here. Internet Explorer runs MP4, but not WebM or OGG. Chrome is MP4, WebM, and OGG. Firefox is the same for all 3. Safari only runs MP4, and then Opera, is that the Opera. That runs all 3 as well. From Opera 25 and above. So as far as I know, it cycles through the first until it finds the one that it can support. I could be wrong, but I can't remember. Oh, and then if you load the page and you want the video to start automatically, it right here it just says autoplay, just in the tag instead of having that like that without it. And then audio is the same thing, the audio tag in between. It's very similar for audio. Has let me see if I can find the 3 HTML5 audio files are MP3, WAV, and OGG for audio. and I think it does the same thing. You put the controls in there. I believe you can add your widths and heights for the controls as well for this to determine
how it looks,
how that
or if
looks.
it's hidden or whatever. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the 3 audio files, and then Canvas was the most interesting. And that is done the same way. It's embedded with the Canvas tag. It's used to draw graphics on the fly, and via JavaScript. So you'll, from what I got, the canvas is literally just a rectangle or a box, and you use JavaScript. It use JavaScript code and functions to put something into that.
So you could probably use CSS3 to change the canvas size, and then
you can change the size. Use JavaScript to either you can draw lines, circles, add text. You can add color, gradient, and you can add pictures to it as well.
Cool.
The one that right here. This is what this code right here produces, and then you can add JavaScript below this that adds a hello world or a gradient, which is like a color. You can make it fade. You can add basically anything that you can add with JavaScript into there. You can add a painting, a picture, just by putting it in there. Didn't show the JavaScript for that because there was a lot of different things you could do, and I haven't started it, so I'm not too familiar with everything that can be entered into that. But that is everything. Very simple for easy things, but you can get very complex with how you play videos, your ads if you have advertisements on your web page, audio files, those obnoxious little audio files that play when you go to a site. Those are auto playing that you have multiple tabs open and you can't figure out which one it is until you look at the tabs and see the audio thing playing in the top.
Which was a nice addition, yes.
Yes, yeah. I have trouble finding those sometimes still, but
well, I'm wondering, with the video audio canvas tag. So obviously before we'd use like a div or something and just put whatever we want into it. So I'm wondering what HTML5 now, when it sees a video tag, what does it do differently than simply putting a div in and inserting a video into that div? You know what I mean? I wonder. I'm not asking you that question per se, but I just
I don't know, but that is interesting. Like what the benefits and
what is it? I don't know. Other than it's easier to
it is.
read, it's like, oh, this is a video tag, so obviously we're doing video in here, so that it's kind of like article and all those things they added in HTML5 too, which are nice.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, cool. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well done. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I think that was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that was good.
Very simple from what I saw, so hopefully I can come up with something quick for mine.
Yeah.
Should be pretty good.
Also, Logan, I typed a link to your index page on Google Hangouts. So you can actually access it through your github.io. I think I found it. So
okay, cool. Let me
you should be able to access it.
Let me pull this up here. On the Hangouts? Oh, there it is. Yep, there that pops up.
So,
Cool.
anyways,
So for next week, looks like Logan's teaching topic 11. Any volunteers for 12?
we're supposed to teach 3 each. Is that right?
I think everyone
It doesn't.
has to teach 3, and one person's probably gonna have to teach 4.
So 1, 2.
I think everyone's.
So I need one more. Ryan, 1, 2. Ryan's done 3.
I need
Logan.
one more.
So Logan, you did 3, 8, and you're doing 11. And then DJ. So DJ and I both have 2, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So then DJ and I can do the last 2. Which one do you want, DJ?
Well, I just don't know what the difference is, I guess.
I know, right? So we're doing transitions, transforms, and animations.
I can do animation if you want me to.
Oh, sure. Give me the transforms. I don't know.
Well, you're the smartest one here, so I figured
That ain't true.
you can take the bullet.
That ain't true. Figure something out. It might be short and sweet, but it's all good.
Yeah. Just get it done.
Oh, let's see. Wednesday. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. So next week is good. The week after that, I'm gonna be out of town, but I still think I will make the meeting, but I'll let you guys know. But that would be week 9. Oh, I'm supposed to lead. So I should be fine, but I might ask someone to lead for me. So,
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. And
Oh, actually, one more thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. What are the possibilities that all 3 of us can teach that week, if everyone's okay with it?
Oh yeah.
The reason behind that is I just remembered that I have to fly down to Texas on Thursday early morning.
Okay.
Well,
So I'm flying down to Austin to go apartment hunting.
Really? I live in
Yeah.
San Antonio.
Oh, cool. It's like what, an hour, 2?
Yeah, like 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay.
Nice.
About, yeah.
I'm completely fine with that, and I can lead if that's the case, if that works for other people.
Yeah, we can do that. So the only thing then is on week 9, we'll just have to meet sometime just to say that we met that week.
Yeah.
But that can be any time.
Have we gone over number 6, the topic 6?
Oh, nope.
Oh no, yeah, because
And I don't know that we have to go through. I don't remember what it said. Do we need to actually teach all of these, or do we just need to meet every week and somebody teaches something and we, as long as we go through.
I mean, I'm
Have a
fine with
meeting.
skipping it.
Yeah, I'm okay with just learning on our own, whatever,
Okay.
What's the one we missed? Number 6. That was the manipulation.
Yeah, DOM manipulation using create element, append child, insert before, etc.
Etc. Doesn't sound very all encompassing.
That's how it is for
All
the rest
of
of
the
the
above.
class. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've already moved past that, but I guess here's the question. Does anyone need help with topic 6?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't know.
So I guess we can talk about that maybe next week if we can do our short lessons with those last 3, and then if anyone has any questions about 6, we can just kind of talk about it.
I guess what we could do is we could maybe prepare. I'll prepare on number 11, and then we'll do 11 and 12 next week. Now I noticed that 11 and 12 they're the same thing, aren't they?
Transition and transform.
Yeah. 11's transition, 12's transform, and 13's animation. So I don't know the difference between transition and transform, but other than we're probably transformer obviously going to be changing something, but yeah, I don't know. Hey, I'll figure it out and tell you guys next week.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Now let me just double check, because on mine it says that number 11 is designing, defining, and triggering CSS transitions without custom libraries.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm preparing mine on.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. And then I was just gonna say that for lesson 6, we could maybe just like pull up like some pages that talk about it, and we wouldn't necessarily like prepare something going into it, but we could just kind of read them together.
Yeah.
Might be an option. If anybody thinks they need any help with it. But yeah. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
So is everyone still cool with me presenting all together next week?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
just do it and get it over with.
Okay.
So just one final thing. So we do have the rest of this week and then 2 more weeks, and we have to have everyone needs to have their topics done and graded. Does everyone feel like they're on track for that?
Not really, but I'm gonna
You can start pushing. Huh?
Yeah, I got 5 of them graded so far. So
I got none of them graded.
Oh, really?
Well, that's because he hasn't graded mine because I haven't
Dang.
switched over to pages yet. So because he couldn't get to, because I am under the, I think, am I have the same host as you, Jason? Or create a site,
you have
or-
the same website, yeah,
Right.
host as me,
Yeah, and he can't reach it because of
which is really weird. Like, I don't know. I'm still frustrated about that whole thing, but
I am too.
whatever. It's like you got to appease the instructor, right? Yeah, I was able to move everything finally over to GitHub Pages just because he kept complaining about it. So I'm like, forget it. He graded 3 of mine on my website. He used another computer, and then the rest of them I had on GitHub Pages. So he did.
Okay. Yeah, I have about 4 or 5 done,
Okay.
but I just got to go through and get it over there and whatnot.
I've just been doing as we teach them. Like that Saturday, I submit the 2 that were taught that week. So
Nice.
so far I'm up to 8. So I'm doing 9 and 10 this week. So hopefully I get done. But yeah, if you guys need anything, like just put it on the chat thing, and whoever knows about it, we can help each other out or whatever.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Yeah.
See ya.